What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and I'm going to be doing a double review of Young Justice. What's it been, a fucking week? Okay, yeah, apologies for that. But Young Justice, episode 14, what was this, Revelation, I believe? We finally get to see the faces of the Illuminati, and they are called the Injustice League, which is a dumb name, so I was going to keep calling them the Illuminati, but then it turns out that they were never the Illuminati, and the real Illuminati is still in the shadows. And it works on so many levels, because they're called the Light, and then you have Illuminati and, like, Illumination. It works on so many levels, you pretty much have to call them that. So the Illuminati is still working in the shadows. The fake Illuminati, the fucking Injustice League, were the decoys to make them think they took down the real fucking thing. And, yeah, it's cool. It's just the way they describe these guys, too, it's like, they've had their hands in every villain we've fought. They're all unrelated. They formed some secret society. I'm just like, Illuminati check, Illuminati check, Illuminati check. The jokes write themselves. But, yeah, they pulled one of those M. Night Shyamalan twists. Which, I guess, he's like, his name is like synonymous with twists, but like his actual twists are just terrible for the most part. So I don't mean to insult fucking not Injustice, what the fuck. I don't mean to insult Young Justice, but yeah. Anyways, because it was an okay twist. I can't say it's like an amazing twist that there's a real organization, because there was no like build up towards it. It was just kind of like, oh, you've beat the fake ones. Like, it's a twist, but it's not one of those twists where it's like you go back and rewatch it and you're like, oh, they hinted at it right here. At least not that I could tell. Not that it needed to be. Not a critique. Just fucking rambling. But, yeah, the episode itself, they basically have all these fucking plant monsters tearing shit up. You have, like, the worst person in the world piloting these things, which is the Joker, because he's just chaotic and he'll just tear everything apart. And Joker was cool. Like, personality-wise and everything he was saying, I liked this Joker. He was not just Mark Hamill. He was different. The voice, though, I gotta say I wasn't a huge fan of the guy playing him. Maybe if I had, like, because it was a little late at night, I kind of had my volume down. Maybe if I heard him again with, like, higher volume, but, like, he sounded like he was talking through a different kind of microphone than everyone else. He sounded, like, muffled, like the voice felt kind of forced. I don't know, it was kind of hard to understand what he was saying sometimes. I don't know, it was weird. I have no idea what was going on with the Joker, but I liked his personality. Hopefully, like, next time he appears, if he appears again, you know, you can give him a better fucking delivery of lines, but the lines themselves were good. I liked the interpretation, just kind of mixed on the actual quality of the voice acting. But of course everyone else's voice acting was on point, and the animation was on point. It was really cool seeing all the Justice League cameos. You know, you got a bunch of dudes I've never fucking seen before, a bunch of dudes I have seen before. You got like 2 or 3 different Green Lanterns from the Green Lantern Corps show up. It's really, really cool. They're definitely going with like the Justice League Unlimited approach, where there's just, like, a shit ton of Justice League members. Not the same universe as Justice League Unlimited. I'm not trying to say that, but I think you guys know what I mean. We see Red Arrow and fucking Green Lantern working together. That was interesting. I didn't know if the episode was going to expand on that at all, but that was definitely interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much it for, like, the cool little cameos and stuff. And then all the villains that were introduced were cool. I don't think I've seen any, except for, like, Ra's al Ghul and Lex Luthor. I don't think I know who any of the actual Illuminati motherfuckers are, so that'll be interesting. And then the actual Young Justice team's mission to go and, like, destroy the main plant thing. I like it. The fights are well choreographed, everything's done pretty well. It was cool to see Dr. Fate appear. I will say that the danger level of, like, Dr. Fate and, like, putting the mask on, that is going to start to diminish if it keeps happening. Like, you know, Kid Flash put it on, and he's like, I'm going to take this body, and then Kent was like, now hold on there. I don't know what he sounded like, but he was like, now hold on there, let him go. And then, you know, fucking Aqualad puts it on, and then he's like, and Kid Flash is like, oh no, Aqualad's gone forever. And then, you know, Aqualad comes back, and he's like, yeah, Kent vouched for me, and it's like, okay, Dr. Fate, you know, is gonna eventually, like, you know, I feel like you can't just keep copping out. You gotta have, someone's gonna have to put it on and sacrifice themselves, or just leave it on the shelf. Yeah, that little nitpick aside, though, the climax was really good. I like the Justice League members coming in. I love the Joker just ready to take out everybody, even his own partners. That was such a Joker thing to do. That was great. I don't know. It was cool too because you couldn't really ever tell what he was like when he was serious or not. Like sometimes he would throw like a tantrum, and you're thinking like he got mad, but then he'd just like play it off with a joke. And there's a moment where he says, like, "Oh yeah, I'm good at handling my split personalities," and it's like, is he serious? Is he just fucking around? It was a really good Joker. I just wish the voice acting was better, but yeah, that's pretty much it though. The Justice League members showing up. I love Batman giving the Joker a glare. You can just feel the history there between the characters just instantly without any words. But yeah, it was a good episode. The Dr. Fate cameo is probably the only thing, and it's not even like it's just like a total nitpick. It's just I feel like either someone has to sack themselves to bring Dr. Fate back or just leave it alone, because the more you put the helmet on and he doesn't take it over, it feels like you lose validity and you lose credibility to that, sacrifice. So, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, yeah, and then the one line of dialogue. I know the show can get away with some visual stuff that's kind of violent and some dialogue that's kind of, iffy, but like, Artemis, if I remember correctly, and on Cartoon Network, I mean, I watched it on Netflix, maybe this is like an uncut version, I don't know. I never even thought about that. That's totally fucking possible, that the one on Netflix is like an unedited version, but yeah, she's like fucking, what did she say? She didn't have her arrows, I believe, because they got captured at first and then they escaped. She's like, I feel naked, and then that would have been fine, but then she follows that up with, and not in the fun way, and I'm like, did a 15-year-old girl just say, I feel naked and not in the fun way on Cartoon Network? That was crazy. I don't care if she says that, it's not that big of a deal, it just took me off guard because, one of the things here in America, I don't know how it is in other countries for if you guys are outside America, but censorship here is retarded. If it's violent, usually you can just get away with it. Kids can go watch it. If it's The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings and orcs are getting decapitated and stabbed and but their blood is blue and they don't look like humans, so you can just have little Timmy go watch it. But if they say a swear word or if they say something or do something sexual, oh no, you can't see that. But he can fucking totally just watch Breaking Bad and watch how to create drugs and shit. But no, you can't hear words that are deemed bad by arbitrary, like, it's fucking stupid. Censorship is stupid. That's a total digression, but I just felt like getting that off my chest. But yeah, it was an interesting line of dialogue from her, to say the least. But, yeah, if she even fucking said it. I still can't even believe she even said that on Cartoon Network. But again, I never even thought about it until right now, 14 episodes in, that on Netflix this could be like an unaltered version of the show. I have no idea, actually. That'd be interesting to find out if there is like a censored version on Cartoon Network, but because it aired a couple years ago. So, yeah, I don't know. Pretty much have nothing else to say about this one. Animation solid, voice acting solid all around, except for the Joker, who was, we got through it. It was passable. I wasn't cringing or anything. And, yeah, the plot was good. Definitely would have been disappointing if these guys were the real Illuminati. I feel like you'd have a bigger finale for those characters. And this is pretty big with all the Justice League members, but it didn't feel like a big finale, you know what I mean? So, it's cool that there is a real Illuminati hiding behind the scenes. And when you think about the Illuminati, man, like, fuckers like Ra's al Ghul and Lex Luthor fit that description. The Illuminati joke works on too many levels, I love it, but anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up and move on to episode 15, so I'll give this episode a solid 8 to 8.5. It was a very good to great episode of Young Justice. It may have not felt like the big finale, but it didn't need to, and it was still a really, really good episode. So I'll move on to episode 15. Okay, so episode 15, and this one I believe was called Humanity. So, another really good episode of Young Justice, as usual. This one was actually really badass, though. We get to see the follow-up storyline with Red Tornado. We get a new character introduced. I don't know if she'll join the team, but Zatanna definitely had good chemistry with the characters, and sure, Powers worked well with them teamwork-wise, so she would definitely make for a good fit, though I don't know if she will or not, but yeah, it was a very fun episode. You don't really know if Red Tornado was a traitor. You don't really know if he's actually getting reprogrammed or not, and it turns out that he wasn't, and he turns out that he's been kind of just playing along so he could distance himself from the rest of the team, so he didn't hurt them or anything. And it was cool. You know, we find out some backstory about the Justice Society, and we see like an older version of the Flash, probably his, you know, father or something. Because I remember in the Downtime episode, in fact, I think it was called Downtime, ironically enough, or coincidentally enough, whichever one of those fits, we did see an old speedster. They talked about how there was Barry, there was Wally, and then there was someone else at the table. They said, but he's, you know, he's too old now. That's probably him, if I had to guess. I'm not too sure how far back that goes, because, yeah, it was like all old vintage looking footage. I mean, that was just a filter to make it look old school, but when you actually see the creator of Red Tornado in like the hospital bed, he is old as fuck, so yeah. Which makes sense. He looked all young when he was creating him, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah, this was like old school Justice Society and shit. You shouldn't look that old, so it turns out he was a fake android with the memories, and, you know, it worked out. You know, it made sense in the end, but, yeah, and then Red Volcano was badass. I liked him a lot. He's almost what Ultron should have been in Age of Ultron, even though I like Ultron in Age of Ultron. I will say, you know, he could have been a bit more serious, and I think that's what Red Volcano was. He worked out very nicely. As a villain, he was really badass. It's actually a shame he got beat so quickly. I would love to have seen him, you know, appear again, but since he had the ability to fucking destroy the world with volcanoes, it's kind of makes sense you'd want to kill someone like that very quickly. And the volcano stuff was all badass. The volcano looked great. The animation was awesome. His manipulation of the earth looked really nice too, when the ground would start cracking and the dust and smoke would come up. Really smooth animation, definitely better than the previous episode. You know, the previous episode obviously had really good animation. This one was even better. The brother and the sister making the sacrifice play. It was all really cool. I like that Red Tornado convinces them to be heroes, and just overall, it was a really fun, really enjoyable episode. Again, the characters had great chemistry. The action was all fantastic. I liked when Zatanna just made all those fake Wallies, and then they're all zooming around, and he's able to rescue Megan. His arm's broken. I didn't mention that in the previous episode, because I didn't even notice when it got broken, and maybe that was on purpose, because he might be faking, because it very, very much looks like he's faking the arm being broken, but no one called him on it, so maybe he's not. I don't know. But it's always weird too. I'm always taken back when Wally pulls out some like fucking crazy science talk, because obviously he would have it. He recreated the experiment that allows him to use super speed, but like it's just weird because he's like such a dumbass, but like he's not a dumbass, so it's weird. Like, I guess he's like academically smart, but when it comes to his social skills and his personality, I guess he's dumb. It's a weird little dynamic with his character, but it works, I suppose. And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, you know. They're probably going to get in trouble. I don't know if the next episode's going to pick up where this one left off, but they were not supposed to go after Red Tornado. So that's interesting. And Zatanna, again, she was cool and likable. I liked her a lot. Red Volcano was a total fucking badass. I wish he had not died. And, yeah, that's pretty much the entire episode. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that really happened that's worth mentioning. Oh, they go to the prison, you know, and of course Hugo Strange is working for the bad guys, so he, you know, tells the doctor dude that they're going to show up. But yeah, just really, Red Volcano, really wish he could have stayed. He was total badass, but I'm going to give this episode a solid 8.5 out of 10. I know that's the same rating as the previous episode, but I do like this episode more. I just feel like that's the sweet spot it should be at. It's a great episode of Young Justice. It wrapped up that storyline, so that's really good story progression. And cool backstory, too. Seeing, like, the old Justice League Society of America and all that. That was all really cool. So, yeah, I actually have a DC encyclopedia up on my fucking, in one of my cabinets. I should actually just bust that thing out and fucking read about some of these characters who I don't know. But yeah, I just remembered I have that. But anyways, no, nothing else to really say. It's an 8.5 episode of Young Justice. So, what did you guys think of these episodes of Young Justice? You guys can tell me in the comment section below. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. You know, you can give this video a thumbs up, share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Might even help Young Justice out a lot in terms of getting renewed. You can subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.